been a while since I've done an actual video on this channel. The last videos I posted were, I think, a gameplay clip of Battlefield Hardline and a YouTube short. So, it's been a while for me. But while we're waiting on bigger projects to come out, and they are coming, I promise I'm not this pale, it's pretty bad lighting. While we're waiting on better projects to come out, I wanted to make a small video to tide you over and keep the masses from freaking out. So today I will be discussing a little bit about my stereo system. You can see it in the cabinet behind me. It looks, well, to be fair, about the same as it did half a year ago. But I have done some changes to my room to improve the listening performance. Most importantly, I figured I should say that I installed some rear speakers. Now, due to my stereo being a bit older and slightly underpowered compared to most, the rear speakers don't exactly have priority over the floor speakers or the center speaker, which I believe the two stereo speakers go about 100 watts of power. So, I mean, pretty powerful. But the rear speakers only have about 15. So, I mean, they don't have much power going through them. I mean, the rear speakers themselves can handle 40 and apparently can go up to 80, so go figure, but there you go. I will also say that my rear speakers don't exactly match the other ones. My center speaker, my stereo speakers, even the stereo itself is all Kenwood branded. Early 90s, so pretty old, about 30 years old. And, I mean, it all sounds great still. I'm not saying it sounds bad by any means. It's actually very good sounding. But the rear speakers, I don't think they're originally meant to be used as rear speakers. Of course, I don't think it really matters as long as it serves the purpose well, but the rear speakers I'm using are RCA speakers. Gotta be honest, I found the pair of them at a yard sale for like $5. So, I mean, it's just, they're not really meant to give a full, like, sound stage. They're more meant for just filling the area with sound and kind of enriching it a little bit. So, I mean, they serve their purpose well. I haven't listened to a ton of music that actually, sounds good with rear speakers. I mean, all the stuff in here just isn't surround sound by default. I mean, it's an 8-track player, a record player, a basic record player, a CD player, and a cassette player. So, I mean, there's nothing really in there connected that could actually be good with surround sound. But, say I plugged in a Blu-ray player, or even some VCRs, that could actually be pretty cool with surround sound, especially the Blu-ray player, which I will get to that in a minute. Right here is the left rear speaker, and, I mean, it's just mounted by a screw. And you can see the cables coming in through the back. It's very basic. It's, once again, not meant to push a ton of sound. I mean, sure, it does say it is a 40-watt speaker, but it obviously doesn't have that much going to it, so it just sounds underpowered. But like I said, it's not meant to push that much, so, I mean, it's fine. And, I mean, it's just mounted by a screw here, because, that's the way it was designed to mount. That's what makes them so good as center speakers in my room. And I can just put it back on the wall. Yes, very quickly. But, it works well. It is right above where I sleep, but I don't sleep listening to music, because why would I? I'm asleep, so, I mean, there it is. I mean, there's not much to say. Over here, on the other side of my room, is my right rear speaker, and, I mean, at least it's a matching pair, but, like, there's not much to say. There is a wire hanging down here, which some people might say that's pretty ugly, but honestly, it doesn't matter that much. My room's pretty ugly in the first place. But yeah, it looks fine here. It doesn't have any issues. Just kind of, once again, is mounted by a screw. Just pop it back on the wall. You're good to go. So it looks good. It looks good. Now, the way I hung them can be seen as kind of convoluted, honestly, because it runs down here. Don't mind that box. I'm using it as a door stopper because the door doesn't really close. But the wire runs down here. It runs kind of under the carpet. I didn't do a very good job of hiding it. And then it feeds back into the back of the stereo system back there. And then the other one feeds under the carpet, under this rug. And then through here you can actually see it. And it feeds like all the way back under my bed and over there. So you can see it. It's wired pretty weirdly, but it gets the job done. And for the most part, it's pretty hidden. I am gonna have to bury those cords under the rug though. So, I feel like I did a pretty good job at wiring these up. And it sounds pretty good. Now, the average person might be asking why I did this, considering I don't have anything that actually uses 5.1 surround sound. Now, honestly, it probably wasn't necessary to do, right? But it does give you a more enriched sound from what I've listened to. Of course, I haven't actually had a chance to dial in my speakers yet. By that, I mean like adjust the volume levels of the rear speakers compared to the center speakers compared to the floor speakers. So, I haven't had a chance to actually get the full potential out of these speakers. But, you can kind of tell it's just going to give you a more full sound. And eventually, if I do get something that would benefit from having surround sound, such as a Blu-ray player, it would actually sound really good. And one of the best things to get for a surround sound system is everyone's favorite psychedelic album, Dark Side of the Moon, which, I have here on vinyl. Yeah, I have it on vinyl. Of course I do. But, it's a vinyl. It doesn't really have that surround sound, So, while this does great, even on 2 stereo speakers, it'd be really cool to get the Blu-ray copy that they released for, I think, probably the 50th anniversary that has that 5.1 surround sound. If you don't have a Blu-ray player in here, you may be asking, how about you just get a $20 Blu-ray player or get one for like $5 used at Goodwill? Yeah, I could easily do that, let's face it. But I'm pretty strapped for cash right now. I may have spent, a lot of money on something I will be showing off in a video soon. Hopefully by this weekend, but I'm not guaranteeing it. So, to wrap it all up, I've got a surround sound system fully set up now. It needs some tweaking, and I'm hoping to get Dark Side of the Moon in surround sound. It's the main reason I did it. I hope you enjoyed this slight little tour, however you want to say it, of my room, and I really hope I'll see you in my next one where I unbox something. It'll be good. Hey, you should watch that one when it comes out.